Before we start, I just want to clarify that everything I say in this video is solely out of my own understanding of the game, and if you think otherwise, I'd really love to hear it out. That way we'll improve and learn together, guys. And please check if you've subscribed. Based on the statistics, most of those who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you find my contents great, then hit that subscribe button, guys. Anyway, let's get on with the video.
Grabe talaga yung presence ni Winz so far throughout this game na siya yung nagsiset ng over and over again ng nanakaw lang ng buff dito si Winz. As in,
Base dito sa scoreboard natin, ang MVP for me is si Winz.
Before choosing any of these 4 rotation, guys, always take note that it depends on your hero picks. So remember, draft wisely and make sure that everything is synchronized. So first of our list in mid lane rotations is the most commonly used core and tank rotation. This rotation consists of a tank, a core hero who will be online in the early game, and the mage support who has a strong tiering potential and also ulti dead. Pero ang mahalaga, guys, yung nakakapag-clear. Anyway, mages, Farsa, Chang'en, etc. Cores, Season, Shin, Brody, Lancelot, tapos yung sa tank. Any choices of a tank, guys, as long as you could rotate alongside with the core. Anyway, you'll notice that in this rotation, the tank will accompany the core to the lane he's supposed to rotate to, and make sure the core gets that early game. Why? Because if the tank alone rotates, the damage output really lacks. So sometimes in a rotation with only a tank rotating, he rotates and without getting any kills or anything out of that rotation, and it will be a very big waste. So it's best for the tank to be accompanied with the core. While they rotate, the mage holds down the mid lane until he reaches level 4. Only then would the mage join the core and tank on the rotation while keeping an eye on the lanes that need clearing. Take note that the mage can assist other lanes only after clearing the mid lane. That way you'll avoid getting pushed on the mid lane and wasting a turret. And on the other lanes, guys, you could also defend once an off lane gets killed. You can use your ulti to defend, guys. That's the job of a mid laner on this kind of rotation. And remember, guys, the tank should never leave the core alone, mostly on this kind of rotation, because if the tank solo rotates, he'll lack that damage output. Sometimes, but not all the times. Maybe in some points of the game, the tank is actually enough to deal with a single lane. And given that the off lane or the side lane hero would have a great deal of damage output, and you'll just have to cost a significant amount of CC, and that would be all for needing a tank. So anyway, that's all for the core and tank rotation, guys. Let's move on to the second one. The second one is core and support rotation. So at first, this rotation consists of a tank, a core with a mid-game, late-game potential, and an early hero support. What kind of support heroes usually used in this kind of rotation? There are Selena, Natalia, and Matilda. As for the core or tank, actually you can choose any of them, any of the best suited hero for the game, and this rotation only focuses on the support. In this rotation, the support will dictate the early while the tank takes up the job of clearing the mid lane. As you can see, the roles or the objectives of the tank and support now differentiate or on the opposite ways. Kanina, diba, yung support yung nag-clear, yung tank yung nagro-rotate. Ngayon, yung tank yung mag-clear, yung support magro-rotate. Bakit? Because the support that you'll have to get are those heroes that could be online on level 1 and 2 and usually buy masks afterwards, while the tank you'll be getting usually is the set type heroes. Why? Because the setup tank hero, guys, yan yung mga may level 4 power spike. and you'll really benefit from getting that early level 4. And guys, this rotation is very much unpredictable since there are a lot of options for heroes to shut down. Having too early damage output can pressure the team in the early phase. Yan guys, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, talagang when the rotation is well done, talagang nakaka-pressure. This is one of the most difficult types of rotation to be up against kasi the fact that you'll have to deal with 2 rotations at a time. And guys, anyway, that will be all for the core and support rotation. Let's go ahead with the aggressive pressure. Usually this is my favorite rotation because it has a very high win ratio. This rotation is one of the most aggressive and also the most risky, usually focused on the early game and also avoiding choke situations. Ano nga ba yung choke situations, guys? Yun yung mga point ng game na lamang na kayo tas natalo pa kayo dahil lang sa pagkakamali. That is a choke. And what kind of heroes ba makukuha natin dito sa rotation na to? Basically, in the supports, we have Selena, Natalia, and Valir. As you can see, level 2, level 1, may power spike na. Aggressive nga, guys. In the tank, Hilda, Jawhead, Hylos, and Khalid. In the core, a core that could farm alone and can carry the mid lane to the mid game to the late game. And ano nga ba? Anong klaseng rotation to? There are circumstances na talagang double support lang, walang tank. Archangel does this, Natalia Selena rotation, and it really is a difficult challenge to be up against, guys. Tandaan nyo, hindi siya madaling rotation na gawin kasi very risky nga, katulad ng sabi ko. Paano siya naging risky? Kasi it's either you win the game in the early phase or you lose the game in the early phase. Kasi pag di mo nakuha yung early, talo na kayo hanggang late game. Ganun lang yun, guys. This rotation focuses on making things difficult for the enemy core and force their teammates to respond, giving your core the opportunity to farm without difficulties. Ibig sabihin, guys, you'll be opening up space for your core to farm. The enemies will focus on you. If you're playing the other support or the other tank, the enemies will be focusing on you. Why? Because they want you to get away from their core. Because the core is really the source of the damage until the late game, guys. But as said, there are times when the core will have difficulties because of enemy offlaners doing a counter invade. Ito yung sinasabi kong double-edged sword, guys. Our risky part ng rotation na to. And that is while making it difficult for the enemy core, your core will also have difficulties pag nag-counter invade yung offlane nila. Why? Kasi walang re-respo sa kanya. Maliban dun sa isang offlaner siguro. But that would take time. Lalo na pag mas malakas mag-clear ng wave yung offlaner ng kalaban. That will be very, very difficult. And this rotation can either win the game or lose the game earlier. Precise use of this rotation could have a 100% win rate. Tatandaan nyo yan, guys. Kaya nga, ito ang isa sa pinaka-favorite kong rotation, guys. Kasi nga, malakas magdikta ng laro. Anyway, let's continue with the last rotation for today, mid lane rotation, the 1-2-2 rotation. This rotation was originally the most commonly used until the funnel strat was introduced. In this rotation, it is common to have 2 utility types of supports or tanks, and 2 cores, one for early burst and one for pressure or late game purposes. The support heroes for this is Parsa, Digi, Valir, or Louis. A lot more options actually, kahit sino naman sigurong may utility. When I say utility, guys, those are the hero that could protect, go aggressive with protecting the core. Basta, guys, protecting is the priority of the utility type of heroes. And making it very, very easy to farm. That is the objective of utility type of heroes. And you usually see them around the heroes with the late game potential. And what do I mean by having two of them? Basically kasi guys, those two cores, yung isang core na nasa mid lane, the core on the mid lane, he will be taking the farm from jungle to mid lane to red buff. And the only objective of that other utility support is to guide or to come along with the jungler, or to rotate alongside with the jungler guys. They will be focusing on the lane of the marksman. Bale, ang magiging ano niyan guys, the rotation will become a 4-0-1. Basically, the marksman, the other core, the mid lane core could be mage and assassin. Anyway, those 4 heroes will take the time to pressure. And another, hindi ko sasama actually dapat to, pero may isang offlane na talagang magpa-pressure ng lane niya. The offlaner should be a hero that could hold up his ground. He shouldn't be too aggressive. He should check the map. He should quickly clear waves. Yan lang trabaho ng offlane guys sa game na yon, sa 1-2-2 rotation. This rotation is what you call a game that could secure a win, where all the aspects of what you need to win a game are filled. The problem is, it requires full team synchronization. Anong ibig sabihin yun, guys? Sa rotation na to kasi guys, mahirap paggalawin ng 1-2-2. Or in English, it is really difficult to make the 1-2-2 rotation work. Mostly because it really requires connection or communication among teams. Because there are specific roles for specific jobs, and it really is difficult when you have no communication. Anyway, that is what that meant. The other support on the lane where the marksman could be is obliged to give the marksman some space to farm and be able to carry the game on the mid game. And the success of playing this rotation on the early and mid game gives a lot more pressure for the opposing team. That'll wrap up things for this content. So if you guys have questions and opinions about this video, please leave a comment down below. And if you want me to make more contents like this, hit that like button guys. Anyway, see you on the next vid.